Here, inshallah, and we have an excellent speaker with us, Dr. Muhammad Al Ruby. Our today's session is for data storytelling for finance professionals. So, data, storytelling, finance professionals, these three words are very interlinked to each other. We all are good in terms of numbers and data, that is our core competency. We are finance professionals. The storytelling part is the part that we all need to learn. And as we all grow in our career from junior role to medium roles and then to the senior leadership, the more storytelling part comes into play. Your CEOs, your board members, your leadership team, all your head of your HR, head of your sales and marketing, they are not finance professionals. Sometimes what happens, we in our early career of our jobs and during the middle career as well, we become very technical in the language that we speak. That creates kind of a barrier in between us and our executive management. So this is an area which comes into play how we can make a good story, a real story, connecting all the dots, and then we convey our message in a more simpler, easier, and easy to understand manner with all the leadership team that we work together. Could it be your HR head, your sales head, business development head, supply chain head, and the CEO and your board? This is how it goes on. That is why we have invited an excellent speaker. For him, this is one of his core area of strength. He has many areas of strength. One of the storytelling is his area of interest. Our speaker today is Dr. Muhammad Al Ruby. I know this gentleman for last around 15 years now. I know him when he was Muhammad Al Ruby, and now he is, mashallah, Dr. Muhammad Al Ruby. So, the gentleman, his core area of expertise is finance business partnering, data analysis for finance professionals, and storytelling. These are few of his strengths, along with many other strengths. And the gentleman is a very senior finance leader. His area is leadership, strategy, finance, and today we welcome him on the stage. How we'll run the session after every 20 to 30 minutes. Whenever you guys have any questions, we'll stop for a small period. We'll answer your question and answers, and then keep building on the knowledge as we go till the end of the session. So we are very excited. Stay tuned up, ask good questions, and we welcome now Dr. Muhammad Al Ruby.
Assalamu alaikum. Hello, everyone.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Zair. Thank you for the great introduction. And it's always my pleasure to meet you and meet that great group. So today we have a very interesting topic, which is about data storytelling. As Zaya mentioned, that most of finance professionals are very good in building, financial modeling, financial analysis, building very good dashboards, very good presentations. But some of them are struggling, to deliver a powerful message to the senior leadership team. Sometimes we are struggling to engage people. Sometimes also our finance presentations are very boring. This is why today we're gonna learn how to bring numbers to life, how to transform our finance presentation in a highly engaging presentation. And inshallah, it will be a very interesting and useful session for everyone. Let me start sharing my screen. Let me make it full screen, 1 second. Okay. The importance of data storytelling. Why data storytelling is important? First of all, we have to know that data without story is very boring, right? We saw many finance professionals, CFOs, finance directors, controllers are presenting numbers and numbers and numbers, but without story, their presentation became very, very boring, right? Also, story without data is not impactful. Just people saying, stories, telling things without facts, without analysis, without any supporting documents. It's just a story without any data is not impactful, right? So what we need to achieve is to combine data with the story to achieve what? The engagement to our people for actions. And let's agree on one important rule for all of our presentation today. Presentation without a call for actions is a waste of time. If you are as a CFO or finance manager or directors or ever and you spend 2 hours presenting numbers, performance, cash flow, aging, capex, opex, many things, without people take actions based on your presentations, it would be a waste of time. This is why we need to learn how we end up our presentation with a call to action. This is something very, very important. When we deliver any data storytelling, we need to convince people, right? We need to persuade people to follow our guidelines, to follow our ideas, to accept our proposal. So we need to persuade people, right? So how can we persuade people? This is something we have to learn. If you need to persuade anyone about your ideas, about your project, about your presentation, how can we persuade people? To persuade anyone, you need three things. Number one, credibility. Number two, logic. And number three, emotions. What does it mean by credibility? Credibility means the person who is presenting to me is a one who is expert and knowledgeable in his or her career. This is number one. So we are, as a finance professional, I don't see any issue of our credibility. All of you are already have a lot of certificates, certified management accountants, certified CPA, CMA, CIA. There are many certificates, and all of you already understand finance very well. All of you have a good personal branding. So I don't have any issue for finance people when they present about their knowledge and about their business understanding and about their credibility. Number two, we need logic, right? The person who is convincing me should present a logic which includes analysis, supporting documents, logical flow. So we are, as a finance people also, we don't have any issue of logic, right? We are people who are already working on daily basis on numbers, on analysis, on supporting documents. For sure, we don't have any issue also to add logic to our presentation. What is in most of cases missing in the finance presentation? We are, as a finance people, sometimes people call us the left brain people, right? So what is in most of cases missing in finance presentations? The emotions. When marketing people or sales people or the commercial people present, they are always engaging people using emotions, making everyone grabbing the attention of everyone, showing videos, pictures, changing their tones. So most of commercial people are very talented in using emotions in convincing people. But we are, as a finance people, we are lacking this area, right? We are lacking to present an inspirational speech or engaging people for action. This is the area that we're gonna learn today also. How can we add emotions and how can we add visualization and how to tell a powerful story behind our numbers? So to convince anyone, you need credibility, logic, and emotions. So if we need to build a reliable and powerful data storytelling, what we need? We need three things. We need to combine data with visuals and with narrative. We need data, our numbers, our P&L, our sales trends, our budget variance, our OPEX, CAPEX. We need data, right? We need facts. And we need to know how to visualize it. Why we need to visualize our data? Because in most of cases, when you present to the leadership team or board of directors or the other departments, not everyone has a finance background, right? So you need to simplify the message to your audience. This is why we need to use visuals. So we need to use visuals to simplify the message to our audience, to make it more appealing, more engaging, more simple. This is why we need to visualize our data. And for example, sometimes when you present a variance analysis comparing actual versus budget, sometimes we present a very lengthy table which includes a lot of numbers and variances. But sometimes people does not don't understand this variance as. But if you visualize it in a simple waterfall, people can understand it simply. If you present a line chart showing a trend, the sales is growing, sales is declining, anyone can understand it better than just presenting just numbers. Also, we need narrative, right? We need the story. We need to tell the narrative or the story behind the numbers. This is why we need to combine the three of them: data with visuals and with narrative. To do what? to make an impact, to make that change. This is why I'm saying it again and again. Presentation without a call for actions is a waste of time. This is our objective. When you present to your board of directors or senior management or whatever, keep it in your mind. I need to present to get action from them, to engage them, to inspire them to make actions. I need you just to put in the chat box. I'm gonna ask all of you, just answer in one word. How do you describe your current financial presentation? I believe all of you have, a monthly management reporting package or quarterly package or annual report. So please describe your financial presentation in one word. You can say it's detailed, it's boring, it's engaging. Just please put in the chat box. How do you see your presentation, or how do you describe your presentation in just one word? I'll see people say valuable, detailed, long and detailed. That's very common, yes, in finance. Impressive. So Ali Raza, you said impressive. So no need for our session today or for our video. Yeah. Detailed, long, reporting, numbers, summary, too much data, impressive. Okay, very good. So I believe what most of you said is true about finance. Most of finance presentation are long, boring, accurate, because definitely we are very keen about having an accurate numbers, detailed, cluttered, too long, too lots of numbers. This is most of finance professionals describes their finance presentation. Let me give you one simple example about the finance presentation. And this is very, very common slide. I believe all of you will say, yes, this is what we usually present. When we present our monthly performance or quarterly performance, let's say we are presenting our monthly performance. So we usually have our actual data, right? Versus we compare it versus budget versus last year or prior year for the current months. And also we present the same data as a year to date. So actual also versus budget versus last year. And sometimes we have to add year to go. Sometimes we add full year. And we are as a finance professionals, we never keep any white space, right? Any empty space, we never keep. So we say, let's add here some comments. Let's put some charts. So this is how we present our financials, right? We never keep any empty space in our presentation. Do you know how many numbers in this slide? This is just one slide, right? Just guess. Just put in the chat box. How many numbers in this slide? Just guess. How many numbers in this slide? Just guess any number. 100, 300, what else? 300, 100, 200, around 250, 2000, 300. Okay. There are 700 numbers in this slide, 700 digits in this slide. Can you imagine? 700 numbers. And we are, as a finance professionals, we never present only one slide, right? So we say, let's build our monthly deck or monthly performance deck. So it includes, in some companies, I see it 50 slides, 100 slides. So let's say on average, even in some companies, I saw their monthly package around 150 slides, 200 slides. So can you imagine that we present 100 slides multiplied by 700 numbers? Can you imagine? You present in your finance presentation 70,000 numbers. And at the end, you say, why people didn't take actions? Why no one followed my ideas? I presented to them everything. Why they didn't get my message? Because you presented 70,000 numbers. Can you imagine, guys? How can I present 70,000 number and I expect people to understand every message I said? I expect people to take actions. I expect people to remember what I presented. Definitely, this is the main issue of the finance presentation. So these types of presentations always end by your CEO asking you, thank you for the 2 hours presentation. What is in it for me? What do you need from me, right? Because you presented numbers, cash flow, OPEX, CAPEX, hedging, sales analysis, sales by customer, many numbers, right? You presented 70,000 numbers. Definitely your CEO or board of directors tell, what is in it for us? What do you need from us, right? So what is the problem? These types of presentation is very good for audit, for as a reference, you have all the details, you have all the backup, it's good for internal controls, good for the machine of finance, but this is not good. This is, to be honest, terrible to communicate key messages. I cannot present 70,000 numbers and I say I highlighted the key messages. This is terrible to engage audience. Can you imagine that the HR director is sitting in your meeting room and you presenting 70,000 numbers? Do you think this is something will engage them? Definitely no, right? This is also terrible for decision or influence decision making. So what should we do? We have to transform our finance presentation. How can we make it more engaging, more inspiring people to take actions? The first step, guys, is to differentiate between data exploration and data explanation. And this is the issue most of finance people are having. Data exploration, when I have to analyze my numbers, understand the relationships, comparing actual versus budget, build the trend analysis, making comparisons, making variance analysis, price volume analysis. When I analyze our monthly performance or quarterly performance to understand what happened this month, where are the areas that performing well, where are the areas that not performing well, right? Analyzing and analyzing. This should be my homework as an FP&A or as a finance manager or as a finance director, but this is not what the audience want to see. So I have to do data exploration, but this is for me to explore the key messages, to explore where are the areas that I need the management to support, where are the areas that I need to highlight to the management. Okay, so data exploration is for us to measure the performance and analyze the performance. But the audience need from us something different. They need someone, after completing all the data exploration, analysis, understanding relationships, to explain it to the management in a very precise way, very clear way, and very engaging way. Okay, this is how we need to present. We need to explain what we did, not to present to the people our full analysis. I see some finance professionals presenting in the boardroom or with the senior management a very detailed, Power BI dashboard. Look, the sales is very interactive. If you press this button, you see how sales is evolving, how is our OPEX, how is our CAPEX, our cash flow, direct and indirect methods. But people are not interested to see this kind of details. They need to know, what do you need from us? I can tell them, yes, we have an issue in our cash flow due to one of our key customers are having a financial problem. This is a message they need to hear for us, not to show them all the edging or all the cash flow position and explain it to them line by line. This is the difference, guys, between data exploration, which is my homework, and data explanation, what I need to present to the leadership team and explaining to them exactly what are the key messages and what are the actions I need from them. Okay, and once you identify the key messages, you need to deliver it in a high impactful way. So how can we transform our finance presentation into an engaging and powerful presentation? Number one, we have to define our audience. And I know you hear that many times when you attend any presentation skills, they always tell us, define your audience. But what does it mean, define your audience? Define your audience is answering all of these questions. What does it mean? Who are my audience? Am I gonna present to executive people who have no time, they have a very tight time, I have to tell all of my messages in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or I'm gonna present to a wide audience, or I'm gonna present to my peers or my team, right? Also, I need to think, what made them awake at night? My CEO always thinking about what? Yes, last week my CEO always talking about cost reduction, cost optimization. So this is what he needs to see tomorrow in my presentation, right? Maybe the management are busy about geographical expansion. We have a headquarter in Pakistan, but we need to expand in Saudi Arabia. We need to expand in in UAE, you need to expand in Egypt. So they need to think about geographical expansion. So this is what made them awake at night. This is what we have to consider when we build our presentation. Okay, what are the key business problems that the management want to see from us? What are the key, actions that I need from them? This is how we define our audience. What made them awake at night? What are the key things that they expect from us in our presentation? Also, what are the actions I expect from them? What are the impact of the actions that would happen, right? This is how you define your audience. Number two, which is very, very important step, is uncover the most important message. And my advice to every one of you, remember this situation. Let's say you met your CEO after months in the closing, okay, in the elevator. So in the elevator, you have how long time to explain anything to anyone? Just a few seconds, right? Let's say 20 seconds or 30 seconds, right? So if your CEO asked you in the elevator, how was the closing of this month, or what did we achieve this month? Do you have time to tell them about cash flow and the edging and the interest rate evolution and sales performance and the cost performance by cost center? You cannot definitely explain all of that, right? So you have only 20 to 30 seconds. So what you have to think about, I have to think about what are the most important top 3 messages I have to tell the CEO about, right? So I can tell him our sales performance is strong. We have 10% performance above prior year or above budget, okay? Our gross margin is performing well due to a successful price increase, but we have an issue in our cash flow due to our one of our customers having a financial issue or financial crisis, right? So these are the top 3 messages I have to tell the CEO about it. No need to tell any more details. This is why I need you to think about the same. When you build all of your analysis, we said you have to build a full data exploration, right? Understand the sales, understand which product is growing, which product is declining, which cost center is performing on budget, which cost center is having overspend, which one having underspend, what is our cash flow by top customers. You have to make all of your analysis, right? But after you complete all of your analysis, build a list of all the key messages. Let's say you build a key message of 10 items, okay? You have 10 key things happening this month. Think about these 10 things. What are the most and the top 3 out of the 10 messages I selected? And believe me, you can find them, okay? Once you identify the top 3 messages, this is what you need to present during your presentation or start your presentation with the top key messages. Remember the elevator pitch, okay? Then, how can I identify the top key messages? You told us I cannot present 70,000 numbers. I have to select the top key messages or the most important message, right? So what is the criteria of the top key messages? There are 4 criteria. Number 1, it should be something big, something significant, right? I cannot be a company that have a top line or a business size of 2 billions and I put in the key messages the IT department overspend by 10K or 20K, right? Doesn't make sense. So it should be something really significant, okay? Number 2, it should be something useful, something they can take actions about it, not just presenting numbers. I have to present something useful, something they can take actions. Yes, we need to revise our pricing strategy. Yes, we need to control our expense. Yes, we need to make a restructuring. Yes, we need to cancel the contract with the current distributor. So it should be something useful. They can take actions about it. Number 3, it should be something relevant, something they care about it. Can you imagine that your CEO this month is focusing on cost optimization, cost reductions, and you put one of the top key messages that that the IT department overspend by 5K or 20K. Does it? This is not the things that he's interested to see, right? Number 4, it should be something surprising. What does it mean by surprising? How many times we present numbers that everyone in the room know about them. Sometimes we say, we achieved sales this month by 50 million. Do you think that your CEO or chief commercial officer didn't know that we achieved 50 million sales? So don't present numbers that everyone knows. People need to know something surprising, something they don't know. So I can tell them we achieved this month 50 million, which is double double the same month of the last year, which is double of our competitors, which is 30% below the same month last year. So I have to tell them something they don't know, they didn't calculate. Or we achieved this month 20 million EBITDA, and if we continue with the same trend, we're gonna, lose our committed or our target, or we might not achieve our target. So I have to tell them something about the future, about the prediction. This is called something surprising. This is something that they don't know. Okay. So step number one, build all of your analysis, build of your data exploration, and discover the key messages and narrow them down only to the top 3 messages. Okay. Then keep the rest in the backup or at the appendix. Okay. Another important idea for everyone is about something called storyboard. What does it mean by storyboard? How many times we spend hours and hours and days building a very good and very comprehensive presentation, and when you share it with your manager or with your boss, he told you, no, 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 this is not what we need. Please change slide number 5, change number 7, change, slide number 9, 12, 11, and you find that more than 50% of presentation should be changed, right? How many times we feel this situation? I believe many times, right? Once we complete a very long presentation or month end report or whatever, your CEO or your CFO tells you, no, no, this is not what we need. Change the slide. This is not the key message I want to share with the people. Why? Why is that happen? Because we have to align with them first before we build our presentation. So there is something very important called storyboard. How it works? Before you work on any PowerPoint presentation without working on any slides, just have a clean, just white paper, just one clean sheet, just one paper. Write down the flow of your presentation. I'm gonna start my presentation, slide number 1. I'm gonna put a summary of our top 3 messages. Slide number 2, I'm gonna show them the trend of our sales related to message number 1. Slide number 2, I'm gonna talk about the profitability analysis and how it improved as per message number 2. Slide number 3, I'm gonna talk about the cash flow issue and the key customers that impacting negatively our DSO. Number 6, I'm gonna show them the full P&L. Number 7, I'm gonna talk about that. So just write the flow of your presentation, the outlines of each slide, just the key topics you're gonna cover of each slide, and share it with your manager or with the key person who's organizing the meeting, and share with them, this is what I'm gonna present. Are you fine with this one? He can or she can tell you, yes, can you change this one? Yeah, this is fine. Number 5 is okay. Can you change slide number 6? No need to present something about cash flow. I believe it's better to talk about the merger and acquisition project that we are working on. That's all. So once you align with your boss or with your manager about the flow and the outlines of your presentation, you can start work on it. So you see how effective doing this storyboard, because you're gonna save your time, save your effort, instead of wasting my time working 2 or 3 days building presentation, and after that my boss telling me that doesn't meet my expectation, you have to make a lot of changes. No, do this storyboard. I will pause here and I will can answer some questions. So is there any questions in the chat?
So there is one question, like the session is being recorded. Yes, this is very much recorded. I think so we are open for question for 5 minutes now. If anyone has a question, just to add on what Mohammed Al Ruby you said, I think understanding your audience and seeing the things from their perspective is very important. When you meet with your audit committees, the presentations are different. When you meet with your leadership team in terms of your business development head, your marketing head, you need to go into their shoes to understand their requirement. So I learned one thing from one of my senior. He, most of the business presentation are normally around 60 to 90 minutes. He said sometime when you go to these busy people, they may say today we have only 30 minutes or today we have only 60 minutes. Your presentation duration is 90 minutes. But they say no, as you said in the beginning, the elevator speech, they say instead of it 90 minutes because of some commitment, emergencies, and at senior level it happens very frequently. They may say, Al Ruby, today we have only 30 minutes. Hira, we have only 10 minutes. Go tell us within 30 minutes what's your message. So aligning the objective of the meeting at the beginning is very important. It also happens through agreeing the agenda in advance, maybe few days earlier. Normally, there is a formal agenda get agreed before meeting. But even if there is some confusion, go to the guy who is the senior member in the team. Align your objective, align your agenda with him. What he or she likes to see. So you come well prepared into the session. I think this goes long way making sessions very effective. Plus if you have only instead of 90 minutes 60 minutes or 30 minutes, which are the slides that you need to go as the finance business partner, as the head of finance, as CFO, what are the five slide out of 25 slide you will present if you have only 30 minutes? That should be very clear in your mind. Again, what your CEO wants to see, what are the real business issues, what are the things your CEO want to see, but at the same time the real issues that you think are important from the business perspective. So this is very important. Alubi, you have touched upon very important key concept, because once the foundation is right, then you can further build on it. Let's see what questions we have here. So webinar is being recorded.
Yeah, I can see now, I think 3 questions.
I think Khalid Hussain, what we are trying to do is we're trying to build from the scratch as we started, like Ruby has discussed in the beginning. Who is your audience? Where you are going? What's your objective? So we are starting from the very scratch. So just to answer your input, and Ali Riza, a department cost. See, Ali, at the end, you're doing presentation not for yourself, but for your stakeholders. So you need to see what are their core area of interest that they want to see. So if there are any question, we can open the floor and you can ask live questions as well. Anyone interested? We'll bring him to the stage. Sharjeel. So Shafiq bhai, please bring Sharjeel to the
yes.
stage.
Okay.
Are you audible?
Yeah, Sharjeel, go ahead. Try to be a bit louder.
Sir, the first step is you have to identify the audience. My question is, if
No,
the
Sharjeel,
audience,
we can't hear you properly. Your voice is coming from very far away.
yes, sir. Now it is okay.
Yeah, it's much better.
Sir, my question is, the first step is regarding understanding the audience. If uh, the audience includes a number of different departments, such as chairman, board of directors, head of production, head of marketing. Our main focus should be chairman or board of directors, or we should consider all the stakeholders, all the departments while preparing our presentation.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Understanding our audience, it's about understanding what they care about it, okay? So the objective of the meeting, let's say, is about, let's say, merger and acquisition, or it's about geographical expansion, or it's about discussing cash flow issue, or about whatever the topic you need to cover, or our monthly performance, okay? So I have to think about my audience, and definitely the key audience, or the key, decision makers in the meeting. Definitely, I cannot, customize it for everyone in the meeting, but usually the key, stakeholders or the key decision makers in the meeting. Okay, I have to think about what are the key business problems we have right now. What I expect, from them. What are the key questions I expect from them? What made them awake at night? This is what I have to think about it. And even you can, little bit try to make it useful for everyone attend. So if once you move to the marketing part, you can tell them, yes, Miss or Mrs. Marketeer, in this area, I see, our marketing spend or the ROI is not up to our expectation, so which impacted our sales performance. So try also to link, each slide to some of the key stakeholders, but at the end, the overall theme of the meeting or the overall theme of the situation in your organization should, help you to understand exactly how can I make the presentation and my headers and my topics and my outlines, relevant to my audience. I hope I could answer your question.
Yes, thank you, Al-Rubi. Al-Rubi, there is one more question from Naseeb Zaman. If there is any other question, you guys can come to the stage and ask. Naseeb Zaman is asking, can we consider summarized slides with the detailed drill down to details only if needed?
Yeah, that's a very good point, and yes, I agree 100% with you. So we have to build our main slides, which is, I believe, maximum. We're talking about from 5 to 12. This is what you have to build for your executive, but keep all the other details in the in the backup if someone asks for more details. At the same time, also there are different types of details, right? So how I build the data storytelling of my months end performance. Okay, so in the first slide I have to put like the top key messages. I always spread the slide into 4 key boxes. I'll show it with you in the coming slide. So I have to put the top key message in box number 1, 2, 3, okay, with some context behind each one of them. And box number 4, I usually put the key questions about each point of them or the key actions that already taken and I need the management to approve. This is slide number 1. In the following slide, I agree with you. We have to put some details about message number 1. So if message number 1, I'm talking about the solid sales performance. So in the next slide, I have to explain in more details point number 1. So as you see here, we have a line showing that we have a strong performance in our current month in September or whatever. And this is the key customers that helped us to achieve this sales. So I have to have a little bit detailed of message number 1. Slide 2, message number 2, and slide 4 is message number 3. Okay, so then you can go to in more details like full P&L. Then I can go to the maybe more details about sales, more details about OPEX, something like that. But I have to start with the key messages, the things that I need the management to remember after I finish my presentation. What are the top key messages that I need the management to take actions, and I need them to remember these key 3 numbers or 3 messages. Then little bit explanation of each one of these 3 messages, then details, and the rest keep them in the backup. Okay.
Thank you, Ruby. Arslan Khan. Shafiq bhai, please allow Arslan to ask question.
सर अलाउ किया बस.
Arslan, please unmute yourself and ask question. Till the time Arslan comes into, there is one very good question from Ali Asadullah. He's asking, what is more important, presentation, visuals, data, or your communication? How you see it, how you pitch it? What is more important?
Yeah, this is very good point. We always say that our body language is more powerful than the words that or the text that in the slides and also the data visualization. But for sure, data storytelling is a combination of the 3 of them, right? We need data, which is our analysis, which is our logic, right? And we need visuals to simplify the message and make it more appealing, more engaging. And number 3, we need the story behind the numbers. So the story behind the numbers with a very good body language and very good communication skills, I believe that would be the most important part, because people can read the slides, right? It's about how you deliver it, how you explain it, and how you engage people to understand what is behind the numbers.
Okay, thank you. I think, Ruby, this is very important. The communication, knowing the number, knowing your business, that gives you confidence. You link all the like key building blocks together. You make a good story out of it. Understanding your business is also critical, and your basic communication skills are very important. Once they are there, this is given the framework. We are assuming they are already there. So communication has to be there, a strong business understanding has to be there, and then use the visuals, the data, the communication, linking them together. But like you have numbers, you have the story, everything. But unfortunately, if you struggle with your communication, again, you may not tell your story in the right way. So I think this all building blocks are very important, as Al Ruby said. So communication is one of the building block. You have very good numbers, very good visual, but if due to some reason you are lacking in terms of communication skills, that will hurt. So communication is the key skill needed for all professionals at our level. So that is given. We are assuming it is there. If it's not there, this is something we all have learned in the life. I know Muhammad Al Ruby, myself and Muhammad Al Ruby was not Al Ruby and Zia that we were in 2011. Al Ruby, this is right. We were
Yes.
not the same people that we are today, but it has been an investment of last 14, 15 years where we are. So if we have learned it, all of you are enough competent, enough capable, and all of you inshallah can learn this as well. So this is part of the learning process. Communication is there, business knowledge has to be there. You must be a strong business partner, and then link your numbers, visuals, data, the right data, keep in view your audience, and then bring story out of it. Yes, Arsalan, are you good to go now? Okay, I think maybe he's busy or some technology issue. So there is another good question from Muhammad Amir. Uh, there was one good question from this guy earlier. He said, for example, your CEO is talking about cost optimization. Should we hide the number or should we conceal the number? I don't think so. We are saying, okay, like if your CEO has told something to see, it means you just focus on what he want to see. I think Ruby has already mentioned, I mentioned as well, the business problem has to come out of it along with the solution. Ruby, I think you have not discussed this thing. Like we are saying, if the CEO wants to see a certain thing, add to the agenda. Whatever is the standard business methodology that has to be there. If you can elaborate a bit more in this part.
Yeah, thank you. That's a very good question. So what I mean by focus on what the audience want to see is to see what are the key things that they are care about it. Okay, as I said, for example, let's say the company in this quarter focusing on cost optimization and cost reduction, right? You cannot ignore this topic in your top key messages, right? I cannot put in the top key messages something about sales, something about cash flow, something about maybe edging or profitability or net working capital or whatever, and I without mentioning anything about the cost optimization, which is a hot topic, right? Even another example, let's say the management is focusing on geographical expansion and they are keen about it, the progress of our new branch or our new office in another country, right? I cannot miss this part or this topic in out of my top 3 messages, right? This is what I see. Don't hide anything. It's not about that at all. But I'm saying consider in the top key messages what are the key things that are the management are focusing on nowadays or in this month or this quarter or this year.
Thank you, Mohammed.
Yeah,
Samar Ali.
I have a, yeah, Assalamu alaikum. First of all,
Alaikum
thank you,
salam.
Zia and Robi, for arranging this session. I have a very quick question. Let's say we are presenting something and management is having something in their mind, like they are expecting some good numbers and they are expecting some, better outcome. But at the end of the day, the numbers are saying another story. So what the management expectations versus what the real number are the storytelling, the real numbers are telling the story. So how we should convince in that case to the management that what you are expecting is different from what the numbers are saying.
Yeah, thank you. That's a very good point. What I'm saying that we have to present what the management expects. I'm not talking about the results. I'm talking about the topics itself. So if the management is keen about, we have this quarter or this year a cash flow issue, right? So I have to consider cash flow issue in our presentation, right? This is what I'm saying. It's not about the number itself. This is point number 1. But also you mentioned a very good point. How can I present numbers that as a result is not meeting the management expectation, right? So in this case, I have as a business partner, as they said, we have to work as a business partner, right? I can tell them, yes, we have a decline in sales. We did not achieve our sales numbers or our sales target. But as a business partner, I already sit with our commercial team and we agreed on this certain action plans. We're gonna sign a new contract with a new distributor. We're gonna revise our pricing strategy. And number three, we're gonna run an intensive marketing campaign. Based on these three actions, we can regain again our lost market share, and we can, close the gap by end of the next quarter. So you share the bad news, which is not meeting their expectations, yes, but you shared with them also the action plan. This is called actionable insights. So I tell them what happened, why that happened, and so what. At that case, your presentation will be very powerful, and people will say, yes, we know we have a bad performance, but the people has already in their hand a good, action plans, and the presentation will be about, accepting or approving your proposal. Did I answer your question?
Yes, done. Thank you, Alavi.
Thank you very much.
Any other question? Or we'll take more question now, maybe after another 20 minutes. Is there any other question? Mohammed Kashif, please go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, Mohammed Kashif.
I have two questions. One question is related if we have a presentation and we are presenting different department performance, okay? And we know that sometimes we have internal conflicts between different departments. So how we can handle it politically, like not to put blame on one department, but give clarity to the management that where is the issue, okay? This is one question. Sorry. The second question is sometimes, if everything's are going smooth, sometimes we do the data analytics, we see everything, but we're not able to build a story. So can you give us some tips, how to build up story?
Yeah, thank you very much, Kashif. Question number 2 will be answered in the slides, okay? I'm gonna cover how to build a story in the coming slides, okay? Question number 1, which is about how to, ensure or consider the political or how, some departments or there is conflict between other departments, or some numbers will not, or put some departments on like an defensive mood, right? Or in not a good situation, right? So
we know that there are conflicts, but we want to, in terms of, company, we want to highlight some things, but, we don't want to put blames on some departments.
Yes.
So that, but we want to give a story to the management that they understand where is the issue.
Okay.
And what in perspectives of the company, what we have to do.
Yeah, that's a very good point, and actually a very, very practical point. I believe most of us having that situation. So I have two advices for you, Kashif, okay? Number 1 is about aligning before the presentation, okay? Sit with the people. Let's say I'm gonna present a bad performance of the sales, okay? Before your presentation, sit with the sales director or the chief commercial officer or whatever, okay? Tell them, these are the numbers. I know it's not a good numbers. I know we have to present to the management, but I'm gonna focus on this area. What do you recommend? What do you action? Are you fine with these numbers? Do you have any other explanation? So align with him or with her, okay, before you go for the presentation. So during the presentation, this person will not, challenge you, because this person will know what you're gonna present. He or she will not be surprised, okay, about these numbers, and they will be ready also to, explain any explanation and align with them on the explanation, on the actions. Okay, that will make the presentation more smooth than just surprising them or putting them in a bad situation in front of the other. Okay, this is number 1. Number 2, try to avoid asking question why you have drop of sales, why you did not achieve that, yeah? Why the target is not. Avoid these types of question, because it put people in a defensive mood. Because you know why? Put people definitely in defensive mood. And the most famous, I believe, answer from most of sales people, right? When we put them in a bad situation or in a defensive mode, what they usually say to finance people? I believe this is a very famous answer, right? They
Yeah,
always say
we sometimes we face challenges in terms of the business development. They are just putting blame sometimes on finance, sometimes on
Exactly.
different. Like they say we did not get the budget. It was
Exactly.
promised. Like this of
Exactly.
positions.
Because why? Because you put them in a defensive mode. So instead of using why and speaking that type of language, talk about how how could we improve the sales? How the sales is not performing well? Do you think it's about because of competition? Do you think it's about we need to improve something because of we are out of stock? What do you think about it? When you say what do you think about it, how could we improve it? How the market is not performing well? People will answer, but don't avoid using word why. This is number one. Number two, talk about we. How could we improve that situation? So people will feel we are as a one team. We are not just a finance like a policeman, and we are asking you why and why and why and challenging you. So we are as a one team. So how could we improve the profitability? How could we regain the lost market share? When you change this language, believe me, I'm talking to you very practical. Many people change the way of asking questions. Things are changing completely. So those are the two things. Align with them before the presentation. Number two, use how could we, and always talk about we as a team and avoid using why.
Ruby, thank you very much. I think we'll have a few more questions at the end. You can continue, and then maybe after 20 to 25 minutes, we'll have another session of the Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you. So we talked about number one, understand your audience. Number two, select the most important key messages, top key message, top 3 messages, okay? Number 3, we have to add context. Numbers without context has no meanings, right? When you say our sales is 70 million, what does it mean? Is it good or bad? Has no meaning, right? So I have to add context to my numbers in my presentation. When I say our inventory is 10 million, what does it mean? Nothing, right? But when I tell you the inventory is 10 million, equivalent to 12 months of sales, yes, that's a very high level of inventory, right? Equivalent to just 1 week of sales, this is a very low level of inventory, right? So I have to add context to my numbers. This is why we have to learn how to add context. There are 3 ways of adding context to our numbers. Number 1, compare. When I compare my numbers versus a benchmark, I can add a meanings to my number. So when I say our sales is 70 million, which is double the last year quarter, yeah, it's a very good performance. Our sales is 70 million, which is 50% versus below budget. That's a very bad number. So when you compare it versus something, you add a meanings to your numbers. Okay. So first approach of adding context is comparing it versus something. Number 2, which is another way of adding context, which is explain with analogies. What does it mean by that? So you can say our inventory is 2 million. It has no meanings, right? But when I say our inventory is 2 million, which is equivalent to 5 months of sales, that's maybe a reasonable inventory level if this is the norms in my industry, right? Our inventory is 2 million, which is equivalent to 24 months of sales. Oh, that's a very high level of inventory. That's an issue. So this is how you add context to your numbers. Number 3, you can add context through a business interpretation. Like what? Instead of just saying, last month we spent 100K in our promotional activities. Has no meanings, right? But when I say, with every $1 spent on promotional activities, we gain $24 of sales. So every $1 spent on promotion generate for us $24 of sales. So you add a context to your numbers. Those are the 3 ways of adding context and meanings to your numbers. Step number 4, data visualization. How can we simplify the message? Guys, we are using data visualization to simplify the message. I see some people using visualization to complicate things, presenting very complex table, very complex dashboard. We use this visualization to simplify the message, not to complicate the message, okay? There are definitely good and bad performance of data visualization. How can we build a powerful data visualization when we know which chart relevant to which message? Okay, so if you have only one important number, that's all. One important numbers, you need to put it in the slides. How to visualize it? Very simple. Just make the number big, put the context behind it. That's all. If you open the annual reports of the big multinational companies, you will find they are using that. When you open their annual report, you say 20% market share, 4% growth CAGR year over year, something like that. If you have only one number important, Don't put big table and or big charts and just highlighting the important number and putting a circle or frame. Make it simple, just make it big, put the context behind it. The second chart is about Power Dashboard. This is my favorite chart. If you ask me what is the best chart I like to use, is this Power Dashboard. How it works? When you select your top key messages, build your executive summary using this chart. It's called Power Dashboard. How it works? Just splits your slide into 4 key boxes or key quadrants, okay? And in box 1, put the most important message in the top left corner. This is the most important message, the most important number. Then put the second most important number, then the third most important number. Maybe in message number 1, we have a strong performance of sales, double-digit growth due to products A. So I can put, for example, 12% sales growth or 50 million below it, 12% growth, and I put context. Message number 2, our EBITDA is above budget by 5%, so I can put EBITDA number and behind it 5% above budget, and I can put 1 or 2 lines context. Message number 3, we have a cash flow issue, so I can tell them negative cash flow or cash flow is negative by X amount, and I can put context due to, you know, customer A or customer B or whatever. And in the last box, you can put 3 things, okay? I can put, if the meeting format is about brainstorming, we're gonna think together about the solutions or about the actions, I can put 3 questions. In message number 1, I said we have a solid performance. So I can put a question. Are we gonna continue our strong performance? Or can we invest more behind product A, which is leading that growth? So I can put a questions about message number 1. Question 2 about message number 2. Question 3 about message number 3, okay? Or instead of putting questions, I can put actions. So I already sit with my business partners. With every message, I already have the action. So instead of putting question, I can say, Mr. CEO, please approve additional 200K investment behind product A because it is growing very well and there is a potential market opportunity. Message number 3, we have a cash flow issue. So please, Mr. CEO, please accept for us to change our current customer or current key account or current distributor because they are not paying us well and we have another potential customer. So we can put actions, 3 actions or 3 questions, okay? This is called Power Dashboard. I believe this is one of the most powerful way you can start your presentation with the top key message. People will never forget it because you precisely focus on the most important 3 things. Then you can put all the details, but you started your presentation with the 3 things that the management will never forget after you finish, okay? Also, if you have to present, you know, the performance, let's say of sales or OPEX or whatever, to different audience, each one responsible for one business unit or one product line, right? Which data visualization I should use? I should use table, right? So the person who is responsible for product A can see his or her performance. Product B, I can see the performance. Product C. So if you have 4 people or 4 different audience, each one want to see a different line, you can use a table, right? This is called table, which is good for communicating with mixed audience or different audience. Also, I can use table, but in a better format, which is called heat map. So I also present to a mixed audience or different types of audience, but at the same time, I use colors to highlight the most important message or the key message. So I can use light and medium and dark colors, or I can use red or yellow or green to highlight the key things or the key messages. The next data visualization is line graph. And when should we use, guys, the line graph? We usually use the line graph when we need to show the performance over certain period of time, right? I need to show the sales performance over the last 12 months, over the last 6 months, over the last 5 years. So to present the performance over series of time, over certain period of time, use line chart. I see sometimes people use bar chart. No, this is not the best practice. The best practice for performance over time is the line chart. Another best practice, which is very important, is maximum 5 lines. Don't use more than 5 lines. More than 5 lines will make the presentation very complex. Your chart will be very complex, and people will struggle to, track, the key messages. And we said again, we use data visualization to simplify the message to people, not to complicate things. Another also a good practice, if you have one key category that you need to highlight, let's say product A is declining. So I can make product A in different color, okay, highlighted color, maybe my company's theme color or my presentation theme color, and make all the other lines in light gray, just neutral color. So this also can help us to focus audience attention on the key messages. Okay. The other type of a chart is called bar chart, and there are two types of bar chart, either vertical bar chart or horizontal bar chart. When should we use vertical and when should we use the horizontal? Both of them are used to compare categories versus each other, right? I need to compare category A versus B versus C. I need to compare department A versus B versus C. I need to compare my performance by geographical area, by countries. So it's used to make comparisons between between categories, right? So when should we use vertical? When should we use horizontal? Both of them are supporting the same purpose, but horizontal bar chart has two additional advantages. Number one, if the number of your categories are too many, use a horizontal bar chart. This is good for optics and for people to visualize and understand exactly which category is bigger than the other one using the horizontal bar chart. So from visualization, from optics, if you have many categories, better to use the horizontal bar chart. Number two, if the description of your categories is too long, use horizontal bar chart because they will not overlap over each other. But if you are using the vertical bar chart and the text of your categories is long, they will overlap with each other, and sometimes Excel or the other softwares make it like that or like that. So it's better to use horizontal bar chart if the name of your categories is long. Okay. The other chart is called slope graph. This is very good when we compare performance over two periods. Okay, when you compare quarter one versus quarter two, or year one versus year two, or quarter one versus quarter two, or year one versus year two, or when you make the comparison or the performance, showing the performance over two periods. Okay, slope is very important to highlight that easily. As you see here, I can easily say yes, the sales in the UK is declining. So it's very clear to everyone using the slope graph. Okay. Also, there are another type of charts which is called a scatter plot chart. We use it to show the relationships between two variables, right? One dependent, one independent. Price and volume, supply and demand, right? You have relationships or promotions and sales. When we invest more in promotions, we get better sales. So this is called scatter plot or scatter chart when we have two variables, one dependent and one independent. There is another benefits of the scatter plot, which is identifying the outliers. So as you see here in the chart, the chart identifying for us easily the outliers. So those are the two purposes of the scatter plot. The other chart is called waterfall, and this is the second favorable chart for me, which is called waterfall. Waterfall, I usually use it when I make comparisons between categories, between scenarios, when I compare, for example, actual performance versus budget, or actual performance versus last year. So I use a waterfall. So waterfall help us to identify the variance analysis or visualize the variance analysis. So if I want to explain our sales performance of actual versus the last year, for example, I can explain it like that. Last year, we achieved 4.1 million. How we reached to the 4.5 million? We implemented a very successful promotion, which added to us incremental sales of 0.7. We implemented a price increase, which helped us to increase sales by 0.6. However, we had a new competitors which took from us our 0.9 million sales. This is how we achieved the 4.5. So when I make a comparisons or variance analysis, the best chart to explain that is a waterfall. This is much better than just putting a very boring tables, includes all the elements and showing the variances line by line. This is better to simplify and explain the message to anyone, how we moved from 0.1 to 0.2, how we moved from actual, from budget to actual, how we moved from current year versus last year. This is my second favorite chart, which is called waterfall. Okay. The next chart is called tree map. When we compare the contribution of any categories to the total, this is also good, but it's not accurate 100% to visualize things to people. But it's good if you have one category and you want to show that this category is very big or dominant the perform. Okay. Also another charts which is called stacked bar chart. When I have categories and subcategories, so I need to show the performance or compare categories versus each others, and subcategories also versus each other. At that case, we use stacked bar chart. Also, we have another types of chart which is called pie chart. Sometimes we visualize it using donut chart. Both of them are having the same objective or the same purpose, which is comparing the size or the contribution of each of one category to the other or to the whole. Okay. Also, there are some best practices we have to consider when you present pie chart. Don't use the 3Ds. 3Ds confusing people. As you see here, in the first impression, when I see the chart at the left side, you feel that the blue category is bigger than the red one. But in reality, blue is smaller than the red one. Why? Because I used 3Ds. So the best practice, guys, for data visualization for pie chart is to use only 2Ds, don't use 3D. Also, if you have the categories that the size or the contribution of them are very close to each other, 123%, 124, 126, so are very close, donut chart or pie chart will not show the which one is bigger than the other, or will not show you the the ranking of your categories. So it's better to replace it by horizontal bar chart. As you see here, easily I can see, yes, iPhone is the biggest one, iPad is the second, and blah blah blah. Okay. Also, it's better to use also horizontal bar chart, especially if you have two axes. It's better to split them. Don't use two axes because sometimes confusing people. Sometimes people don't know for the line chart, shall I use the left one or the right one? Sometimes people get confused. So split them into two charts would be more easy and more practical for the audience. Okay. Also, if you have many categories, don't use too many colors because people will get confused, right? So it's better to highlight the key important lines in a highlighted color and keep the other neutral. Okay. Also, best practice also when you have a horizontal bar chart, ranking them from the lowest to the highest or from the highest to the lowest. Don't make it like that unorganized because people will struggle to understand which one is bigger than the other. Another important part, which is about the top left corner. People always read from left to right and from top to down, right? So the first area that people look at your slide is the top left corner, right? So don't lose the opportunity by putting just very non-value adding title, like just year-to-date August performance, balance sheet. This is very important area in your slide, top left. So put a very important actions, very important questions, very important things, because people first, when you present, look at the top left corner. So put something adding value and something more important. Okay. So these are a very simple principles when we build any data visualization, number one, highlight the most important stuff, eliminate clutter, noise, anything in your slides that not adding value, please remove it. Any pictures, any comments, anything that just adding noise, please remove it. Make it simple, make it stupid simple, make it legible. People can know, yes, the green means what, red means what. Keep it clean, keep it simple, use simple language, don't use complicated or technical language like matching principles, IFRS 16, 15. Your audience, most of them don't understand the finance terminology. So use a very simple business language. Be smart with colors, align, it's very important, and white space is your friend. Remember Google homepage. When you design any slides, remember this homepage. Do you see how much white space in this slide? Do you think Google as a company, they don't have capability to add videos and add pictures and add chart? Definitely they can do that, right? But why they made it like that? Because they believe in data storytelling. They believe on focus the audience attention on what they need people to focus on. So remember Google homepage when you design your slides. Now moving to the questions. How to build a story, how to build the right narrative behind our numbers. There is a very powerful techniques called picture and pitch. How it works? When you watch any movie, I'll give you some example. When you watch any movie, the movie starts with what? Or any story, or read any story in the book story, or watch any movie. Always the story starts with what? The sense, right? Set the sense. In one day, we have someone living at his home with his family. Everything is going well. Every day, the status quo or the routine, right? The person is very happy. He love his family. He go every day to his office, come back, sitting with his family at night, watching movie, and they have a very nice life, right? Then in one day something happened, right? An event happened. Maybe he lost his job, he lost one of his children, someone attacked them, something happened, right? And because of that, consequences, once he left his job, he started to get he started to sell off his stuff. Things become difficult. He couldn't send his children to the school. A lot of consequences because of that event, right? And then someone comes to his life. Maybe he overcome the hero came to his life, right? Maybe someone helped him. Maybe he overcome his fear. His wife stood behind him. His friend stood behind him, and he succeeded to overcome that challenge, and he succeeded to resolve the challenge. And finally, he has the new status quo, and the situation has been resolved, and he has the new routine, and he got a better job, and he opened his own business, and he has the new routine, right? This is usually the sequence of any story, right? Status quo, everything is going well, something happened, because of that, consequences, blah, 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 increasing. Then the hero came to his or her life and resolving the issue, and they have a new happy life, right? This is the sequence of most of the stories, right? Correct? How can we apply that to the finance presentation? Do you think we can apply the same picture and pitch techniques in the finance presentation? The answer is yes. Let me give you one or two examples. I can start my presentation with, guys, we have our product A. Every year, the product is growing year over year. We have strong double-digit growth, and everything is going well with our product. Since last quarter, a new competitors entered to the market, and we started to lose our sales and started to lose our market share. Because of that, we started to face, big difficulties to, keep our market share. We started to cut expenses. We started to do that, and however, we as a finance and commercial, and we sit together as a senior management, and we decided to take an immediate actions to overcome these issues. So we decided to sign a contract with a new top 5 key accounts to get a better footprint. We started to change our wholesalers and our distributors. number 3, we decided to implement a price increase. Since we implemented these actions, we started to regain again our market share, and today, as you see, we are growing again. So as you see here, I applied the same in our finance presentation. Okay. Last but not least, how to build a memorable presentation. I'll give you one important tip if you need your presentation become very powerful. Use the rule of 3. This is very powerful, guys. Very powerful, guys. The rule of 3. Do you know even the kids' stories using the rule of 3? The 3 musketeers, the 3 little pigs, the 3 bears. Even the marketeer use it. Work, rest, and play. Work, rest, and play. Rule of 3. Because, guys, rule of 3 is very, very, very powerful. It's very good for people who will never forget your message because they use the rule of 3. Just do it. Just to do it. So they are also using the rule of 3. Do you know why the emergency numbers are 3 digits? Do you know why? Because they are using also the rule of 3. They can tell you if you want to call police, just press 5 or press 9. No, they make it 3 numbers. Why? Because they need people to remember it. Press 122, press 125. They use the rule of 3. Even in the politicians, they are using also rule of 3. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Everyone in the audience was saying, yes, we can. Because it was very powerful and it helped them to succeed. Okay. Also, blood, sweat, and tears. You see now how people use the rule of 3. Thinner, lighter, faster. Thinner, lighter, faster. This also using the rule of 3. This is why I need you to use rule of 3 in your presentation. So when you start your presentation, say, today I'm gonna talk about 3 things. Our sales performance, which is growing very well by double-digit growth. Number 2, our EBITDA is performing well, 5% above budget. Number 3, we are struggling with our cash flow due to one of our key customers having a financial issue. And once you end your presentation, remind people again. So today we talked about 3 things: the sales performance of product A, the EBITDA performance 5% above budget, and the cash flow issue with the key customers. Okay, so this is called the rule of 3. And don't forget, guys, again and again and again, don't forget to end your presentation with a call to actions. Call to actions. Presentation without a call to actions is a waste of time. So what are the key components of having a powerful presentation? Number 1, start with grabbing attention, people. You can use you start your presentation with a question that can grabbing people attention. You can start with a funny fact. You can start with key things that people are keen to hear about it. So start with grabbing the attention or grabbing headlines. Then use the rule of 3. Today I'm gonna talk about 3 things. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Under point number 1, I'm gonna talk about number 1, point number 1, point number 2, point number 3. And the same. End your presentation with a call to action. So today we talked about number 1, sales performance, number 2, EBITDA, number 3, cash flow. Call to action, please, Mr. CEO, please, board of directors, accept additional investment for product A. Please accept our proposal to change our customers, whatever. Okay, this is how you frame your powerful presentation. How to deliver a memorable presentation? Number 1, again and again, define your audience, their intent, tailor your story for your audience. Number 2, focus on one story, one big idea per slide. Don't put too many ideas, too many, information, too many messages in one slide. Keep each slide having a one key message. Okay, practice. When I say practice, it's not about reading your presentation. I see some people saying, yeah, I have a presentation tomorrow. They are reading their presentation. This is not practice. Practicing means practice exactly same as how you present in the real meeting. Okay, so present in front of a mirror, present in front of a camera, present in front of your friend, and present in front of your wife, in front of your husband. So this is how you practice. Practice exactly how you present in the real life. This is called practicing. Don't read your presentation. Okay, give the audience reason to care about it. Today I'm going to talk about the merger and acquisition project. Today I'm going to talk about the cost optimization issue. So start your presentation with something people care about it. Okay. Rule of three, very powerful as I explained. Keep it stupid simple because you have to simplify things to your audience. Be the best version of yourself. If you are energetic person, be energetic. If you are a quiet person, be quiet. Don't be a crappy version of anyone else. Be yourself. And speak the language of your audience. Avoid any technical terminologies. And again, end your presentation with a call for actions. With that, I would like to thank you very much. And this is a good book if you need to improve your data storytelling. If you need to improve your presentation skills, this is a very, very good book about six secrets of Steve Jobs presentation. This book is amazing book, summarizing all the key tips, all the presentation techniques that Steve Jobs used in his career. If you need to improve your data visualization and data storytelling, there's also another book by Coley. So I believe those are the two books I can recommend for anyone who wants to improve your data storytelling. With that, I would like to thank you very much for inviting me for today, and I'm open for any questions.
Dr. Mohammed Al Ruby, thank you very much. I think all of us has learned many things. I personally learned two things today, are more of a refresher. I love the example of the Google page and the blank page so you can focus. I loved that example. And the rule of three. This is very important. Sometimes we were doing maybe unknowingly, like what are the four messages you want to give? But I remember like the rule of three is very effective. So thank you very much. So we are open. You already have answered this, how we can further learn in terms of how improve the two books you already recommended. Just one more thing. I did one course on business communication from INSEAD Business School around 5 years back, and they assume Steve Jobs as one of the best speaker in the world. They
Yes.
assume at the moment from the living people, the ex-IMF chief, Christian Lagarde, as one of the best female speaker related to the finance profession. Okay, she has been IMF chief. Currently, she's I think leading the European Banking Association. So and these days you can find hundreds of videos on the YouTube, and the Bill Clinton. These three people in the history of human mankind for the last for 30 to 40 years, the people who teach business communication, they take Steve Jobs as authority, Bill Clinton as authority, and as a female speaker, they take Christian Lagarde as authority for the finance people, because the people in this call is finance. So there may be many other people as well, very good speakers. Muhammad Al Ruby himself is a very good speaker. We have Asif Hafiz with us. I have seen him presenting many things. He's also an excellent speaker. But as we all learn in the passage, listen to these people. Steve Jobs, read this book. You have many YouTube videos for Steve Jobs, for IMF chief Christine Lagarde, and Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama as well. Recently, people have started adding Barack Obama. If you look at his body language, the way he comes into and the way he brings energy to the discussion, so these people can add lot of value. And communication, storytelling is a journey. It's not a one-step thing. Muhammad Al Ruby has given you a lot of useful information to set the stage, to do the foundation. Read this book, YouTube, use the YouTube to your advantage, and skies are the limit. Okay. Anyone has any question? We'll quickly look at it. I think you already ordered few points that was mentioned there in the some of the input from the team. The books you already have recommended. Uh, Session is being recorded, and books you recommended. Emotional story you told. Use the analogy of a movie story. Also, I think I have learned one thing. I have learned storytelling from my daughter Aisha. So normally the girls are very good in storytelling. Eh? They want to
Yes.
see something, they will come to you. Ah, Ruby, you can learn storytelling from your younger son and daughter as well. I have learned this from my daughter Aisha. So this is an area, and we should be open for learning. What else? I think, yes, conveying the bad message is also one of the area. We all need to learn emotional intelligence. Ruby, sometimes there is a bad message and you need to communicate a bad message. So maybe just highlight this part, how to communicate a bad message. Like the same, I think someone asked earlier as well. Your CEO,
Yes.
your board members are expecting a different number, numbers are different. You said it, but if there is a bad message, how we can communicate effectively? If you can throw some light on this part.
Yeah, I believe when we present a bad message, we have to be ready with the actions, okay? Because if you just drop the, the bad news to them and, run away, I believe that's not a very good thing. So if you have a bad message, sit with the relevant departments related to that bad message. If it's about sales, sit with the sales people. Guys, how can we improve the sales? How can we close the gap? What are the actions that we have to do? So when you present the management a bad message, share with them also the actions that we're gonna take to, resolve or overcome this message. I believe this is the most important thing. Number two, as you said there, use also emotional intelligence, use the right time, use the right tone, instead of just, saying it in a, a bad way. I believe these are the two things that I
Yes. And I
recommend.
think making them ready before the meeting, as you mentioned earlier, if there is a bad message, why don't you go? See, we all are finance people, and as you all are going higher in your career, inshallah. So think as more a partner, as an advisor, as a CFO. Go to the sales guy, tell him like maybe this particular category is not growing versus plan. Why it's not growing? Go once you understand your business, you sit with your partners, explain them the rationale behind it, go with the number, go with the detail. They also have a story on their side. Listen to that story in a very unbiased manner. Listen to it and then come back together as a solution. I think the moment we finance people move from controllers to directors, head of finance, and CFOs, once you start coming up with an action plan, call to action, coming up with a solution, people start becoming quite good friends and they start taking you as a right partner for them, as a right business partner. So you listen to them, you speak their language, you understand their business. If we all do not understand business, nothing is going to happen. You have excellent communication, you have everything, but you do not understand the core of the business. So the core is also one of the fundamental along with communication. Understand your business, understand their problem, and then working together with them, as Ruby said, how we can resolve this, how we can come up with the solution, figure out a solution together. You may have one solution, they may have another one, then come up with something right. But and it's communication is a journey, storytelling is a journey, and we all keep learning together. If there is no other question, I will invite our senior team member, our KSA branch counsel Asif Fiz, to say a vote of thanks to Dr. Muhammad Al Ruby. Any question? Asif, please go ahead. We have one guy, Chaudhry. Just sorry, Asif. Chaudhry Ali Raza. Yes, please go ahead quickly. I already requested Asif. We may take 3-5 minutes extra from his time, and he's willingly agreed. Alhamdulillah.
So can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I had a question. Actually, you said that whenever we present numbers, we need to add a context to everything. For instance, you gave an example, like if the sales has increased, then there should be a reason, like we can say that the marketing expenses has increased also by a certain percentage. But I want to say that there could be multiple contexts to a situation. Like sales had increased, but the sales could be increased. Just CEO could say, I have hired more professionals. It could be an increase due to the seasonal changes, like in the summer, the sales have increased or stuff like that. Or simply the economy might have, the purchasing power of the people has increased. So, I mean, I want to say, how can we establish a particular context? Like it's a catchy situation. Like how we can attribute that how much of the sales have actually come due to the one context, for instance, increase in the marketing expenses. That's all.
Thank you very much, Abib. That's a very good point. So we put in the context just the meaning of the number, right? This is double our competitors. This is a strong performance. This is due to, or you can put the key driver. Definitely, as you said, we might have different drivers or different reasons or consequences, but put the key driver. And when you present, say it, because we cannot put everything on the slides. Just put the numbers and put the key message in a short way, okay, context in a short way, and explain it. So I can say, for example, I'll give you one simple example quickly. So I can say, yes, we have increase in cost of goods sold due to increase in freight, okay, or which is higher than budget by 20%. Okay, this is I can put in the slide, but I can explain. We have increased the cost of goods sold because of increase in freight. We have increase in freight due to the increase in oil price, and we have increase in oil price because of the war between Russia and Ukraine. So you can put the whole story behind the numbers, but no need to write everything on the slide.
Ruby, one more point. There are two people who asked one question. Give us one example how we can bring storytelling and emotion in real life. If we can give them just one small example.
Yeah, I believe when we use emotions, I see some finance professional when they present like, like just a robot, sales increased by 50%, this increased by blah, just telling numbers, right? But how to add emotions is to change, your tones, tell the story, engage people, asking them question to grab attention, tell maybe a funny facts at the beginning just to engage people, change your tone, use visuals, use videos, try to make it more engaging and use your emotions, not just and changing your tone, changing your way of voicing. This is the way you are using instead of just saying, oh, the message very boring, all numbers in the same, using the same tone.
Khalid Hussain.
Assalamualaikum. Hi everyone. Can you hear me?
What's that? Yes,
Yes,
walaikum
sir. Please
salam.
go ahead.
Thank you so much, Dr. Muhammad, for the nice presentation. Mr. Zia, for being a great host. So I was curious to ask, like we have been hearing this thing, the change in the role shift for finance professionals. It's very common these days, all right? So if you go back into 2010 and 2000, we were limited to the control and compliance part only in the finance function. So now in today's world, it has gone far beyond that, and we are supposed to be in the advisory and collaborative thinking role as well. So why this particular role change is required from finance professionals only? There are other departments as well, right? The people and culture is there, the IT is there, some other departments are there. Why from the finance professionals only? Why do the company or the premiers need us on the decision-making table? First thing. Second thing about the data storytelling, we will have different time spans. For example, sometimes you will get 5 minutes to speak, and sometimes you will get an hour to speak. So when you have 1 hour, you can build a context, you can apply all these formulas to tell a story. And the second thing is your position as well. If a CEO is speaking in a meeting, he's going to get attention anyway because he's the CEO, right? And if I'm an accountant, the attention span I'm going to get is very less because people are not going to hear me. So apart from all these things, what other characteristics you think I should possess? For example, there is executive presence, there is trustworthiness. So what other characteristics are there which I can use to, be a good data storytelling finance professional? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Khalid. I believe you raised a very, very good questions and very, practical questions. But to be honest, some of them need another session to answer. But I will try to make it very precise. Number one, why finance, right? Why, especially finance people, expecting from them to be, very close to business and all of that stuff. I believe the only functions that has access to all the data of the company is finance. Okay, you are the only function that has access to everything. We see the sales data, we have the OPEX, we have cash flow, we have access to everything. This is number one. Number two, if we couldn't change ourselves or change our role and became a real business partners and a real advisory to the business, believe me, everything will be automated. And I'll give you one simple example, and that's real example. In IBM South Africa branch, there is no finance in South Africa at all. They replaced all finance by a fully automated dashboards. Salespeople, anyone can access what happened in the business through their dashboard, so you can see what's happening in sales, what's happening in profitability by product, by country. So there is no need for finance. Why? Because the finance rule just about reporting and dashboard. But they need from us to be having a very strategic role, asking business the right questions, providing them a real business insights and foresights, translating the business ideas into a real business cases, calculating the ROI, building business cases. So that's why they need finance. At the same time, if finance understand the strategy, understand business, along with leverage technology, we can add much value to the business. So this is question.
यार आ रहा है बंदा यार सब्र कर जा
Okay.
Okay. Keep
So-
going, Muhammad Al Ruby.
Yeah. The other question, sorry, I forget the third one.
One was the why of the finance part that we did. I think one more thing I would like to add, Khalid. See, what I have seen is most of us, inshallah, all of you are going to be CFOs. Some of them maybe already CFOs. When your CEO is traveling, who is taking care of his part? It is normally the finance. Is your CFO is normally acting CEO. So the amount of the access to the information and the total business availability and access, people take you as your co-partner to your CEOs. The finance has a bigger role to play versus the other C-level roles. So it is all up to us. Some of us are willing to take that role, some of us are not there. But finance, the whole world normally take the CFO as a very true partner to the CEO, and he takes care of him whenever he is traveling. And many CFOs we all know in our close circle who reach to the CEO the moment CEO goes away, or whenever there is an opportunity they replace the CEO. So this is how it happens. So sorry, I also missed the second part of Khaled's question. So if there is another question from Vakas Siddiqui, I can quickly answer that part. How much information should be shared in meeting before deck? No, it depends upon your organization, how much they want to see. Normally, sometime like recently, we were doing one strategy work with PwC and we were going for a board meeting. We shared all the detailed strategy work that we have done with the Big Four in advance for the pre-read purpose. So they come to the board meeting discussing only that topic. They have read every page of like 70, 80 slide done by PwC, and they come and this is how they go through it. It depends. Normally, at least minimum 3 days in advance, it should be shared. Better to be at least 5 working days. 3 days minimum, 3 working days, because most of your senior people are quite busy people, so they can read it in advance, read it well, and come for a better discussion. So this was one thing. I think rest we have discussed most of the point. Dr. Muhammad Al Ruby, thank you very much. Asif Hafiz, welcome to the stage, and let's say vote of thanks to our speaker.
Thank you very much, Zia Mustafa, and thank you very much, Dr. Al Ruby, for shedding some lights on the data storytelling, how finance people role is important in storytelling, and to conclude or to convey the message to the management. So that's the important point. There are some points which we learned during this session. One is to know your audience. This is the first phase, and as Dr. Ruby said, that there are some framework points to be considered before you put data storytelling in a narrative form. This is not only to show your data or the graphs, but it should tell a story. It should tell you the message clearly and put your emotions into it. So thank you very much for that. And we all are here to learn from you in future as well. And special thanks again to Zia Mustafa for arranging this wonderful session. This is the need of the time. We have seen many dashboards nowadays. You will see there are some beautiful dashboards, but without narrative. So believe me, if you put only two visuals and narrate a story, it will have more impact. That's my point. And we will, inshallah, keep focusing on the future advanced level of such webinars. So thank you very much, ICMA PKSA Branch Council. Thank you very much, ICMA International. So thank you very much, Zia, and that's all from my side.
Thank you, Asif. And we all are available if there is anything that we may have missed it because of the time limitation, because we know like across the world, this is a weekend and some of us traveling as well. So we don't want to occupy you guys with all the detail. Any question, Dr. Muhammad Al Ruby is very much active and he is available on LinkedIn. Myself, Asif Hafiz, we all are in your reach. Anyone has any question, please do approach and we would love to help you out. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.